All right, all right. It looks like we are live. Hello and welcome to the Bree Hive live stream. How is everyone doing today? Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. And I'm a little off right now because I feel really excited because I think I figured out my audio issue. So we're going to test it out today on the live stream because we are going to take a look at some of the testimony that has been going on in the Murdaugh trial for the rebuttal witnesses. But hello. Welcome to the live stream. If you don't know me, I am Boss Attorney Bree. Here on this channel, we cover celebrity lawsuits, trademark lawsuits, copyright lawsuits, and really whatever the heck that we feel like covering. And today we are going to be looking at what we call it, infamous at this point. We're going to be looking at maybe infamous Murdaugh murder trial that is coming up on the end, we hope, right? They are almost at the end. Defense has rested, or let's go. Prosecution has rested their case. Defense has rested their case. And now prosecution is doing rebuttal. We thought that the rebuttal was going to be very short. They said about a day or so, and they said that they had about 4 to 5 witnesses last week. And then we get here and we find out that they actually have, or not last week, what was that, last night? That they actually have 7 witnesses. And some of them testified today. So we're going to take a look at what the rebuttal has been doing. I took a peek about Alex Murdaugh's brother testifying yesterday. Go ahead and drop in the chat what you think of that. What did you think of his testimony? Was it believable? I think he started off strong, and this is just my opinion, and we'll talk about it a little bit more. I think he started off strong, but then his mask, to me, he had a slight mask on that kind of fell down once we started getting more into the technical things. But when he was talking about the emotional things, and we are talking about, what is his name? John Marvin. I forgot his name that quick. Oh my gosh. But yes. So to me, I felt like he was a good emotional witness, but once we started talking about what happened, I don't think he was all that helpful. I think some of his statements actually may have been more detrimental than beneficial to the defense. And I'm like, did you guys not know what he was going to say before you called him on the stand? I don't know. All right. But other than that, let me check how everyone is doing. I just assume that everyone watching already knows what's going on with the Murdaugh trial. So if you don't know what this trial is, it's basically a prominent lawyer, or used to be lawyer at this point, is on trial for murder, for murdering his wife and his son. And we have been covering it. A lot of the lawyers on YouTube has been covering it. So I just assume that everyone already knows what's going on. But if we need to slow down and go back into the case, then let me know and we can go ahead and check it out. Okay, let's see. We got Nissa Howard always here saying hi. I think like the first one on the last couple of streams. Welcome back to the live stream. It's nice to have you here. We have Christina Pia saying hi, Bree. Hello, welcome to the live stream. We got Hella Swanky back in the house saying, what's good, Bree Hive? Hope everyone is well this evening. Yes, exactly. I hope everyone is doing well. If you haven't already and you're watching on the live or the replay, go ahead and hit the like button and the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. We are on the road to 50K subscribers this year. Hopefully we can get there. If not, it's fun trying, right? Okay, we got Nissa Howard saying that she can hear me. Thank you so much. It's going to be more with the audio. Well, it's because I didn't check my audio before I got on here. But if you guys can hear me good, that sounds good. Ashley Hempel, member of the channel, saying hi, hello, welcome into the live stream. Marianne Williams, a member of the channel and a supportive member of the channel, saying hi, Bree Hive. I'm dropping the emojis that StreamYard does not like to show us. But if you are a member of the channel, you do get cool emojis that the chat can see, and you also get badges next to your name, and you support the channel. It's $5 a month, so if you have it to spare, we appreciate it. If not, we like the like button being hit. Okay, we have Z Seltzer. Welcome back to the live stream, saying hi, hand pick wave. Okay, it's just spelling out what the emoji is. Deacon Fatal says hi, Boss Attorney Bree in chat. Hello, welcome back to the live stream, a member of the channel and supporter of member of the channel. Nice to see you here tonight. We have Z Seltzer dropping the emojis, the queen bee emojis with the sunflower. Thank you for that. Griffin T saying, hey, Bree, hello. Welcome to the live stream. Deacon Fatal saying hello to Z Seltzer and Griffin T. We're Debbie M, another member of the channel, saying hi, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the live stream. We got the people chatting with each other. Amy Greenberg saying hi, Bree in chat. Hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. We are talking Murdaugh. Are we done with this trial yet? Are we over the trial yet? I think last Thursday, we were leaning more towards being over the trial. But after the defense resting and after the rebuttal starting, do you guys feel any different, or are we still over this case? It doesn't need to be over at this point. Okay, Deacon Fatal says, please hit the like button because it does help here. Yes, it does. And it's completely free. Just go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Weird Debbie M says, this case is driving me nuts. The attorney roam around too much. They need a leash. I haven't seen that comment yet, but they do walk around quite a bit. And it's a little different for me and the trials that I do and the cases that I do. We sit down. We don't even have a podium that I think we could stand at. I'm in the family courts. I don't think we have a podium now that I'm thinking about it. We sit down at a table and we ask our questions, and that's it. Maybe our courtroom is lame. I don't know. Z Seltzer says the rebuttal finished today. Oh, okay. So it actually finished. Yeah, I did not watch today. I was actually in a settlement conference today, and I did not think I would be able to stream today. So I just caught up on, is his name John Marvin? I feel like that's his name, but I forgot that quick. I watched his testimony on like 2x speed. And then I started off the rebuttal in the motion to get rid of some of the witnesses or whatever the motion was from the defense, but I did not get into the actual rebuttal witnesses. So I am glad that they finished today. Then we should go into closing arguments coming up here tomorrow. So that would be good. So even though they had 7, they said it was half a day. When they first introduced, they thought it would be half a day, but a whole day, I mean, I guess that's better than 10 more days, right? So, all right, let's see. Saying hello. Deacon Beto says, I took the day off from the trial. Well, we are starting back on today. We're not going to watch the whole thing. I don't have time to watch the whole thing, but we're going to just watch bits and pieces of it. We're going to talk about some of the testimony from yesterday. I should probably figure out what his brother's name is, if I'm going to keep calling him John Marvin or if it's that or not. So we'll see. Marianne Williams says, I think this whole trial is crap. Oh, yeah. I think a lot of people are there with you. I'm wondering if they're going to be able to get a conviction here. I have not had the pleasure of watching the whole entire trial, pleasure or not pleasure, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so far, I don't know if the prosecution has done it. Now, other attorneys that have watched the full trial, they may be able to have a better opinion than me. So don't take what I say with a grain of salt, because I've just been popping in and out. I have not been watching the whole thing. Ashley Hempel says, I think he's more honest than Alex. I think anybody on the planet is more honest than Alex. I just don't think he was that helpful. Like, I think he was honest. Yes, I do think he was honest. I just don't think he was that helpful. Like, they asked him if Alex looked like he took a shower, and he was like, yeah, it looked like he took a shower. It's like, I guess that could be helpful or not helpful to Alex, because on one hand, if he took a shower and then the search warrant was done, or whoever did the search of the house didn't see any blood in the tub on the initial look to the naked eye, then that may suggest that, yeah, he took a shower and there was no blood, so he could not have done the murder. Or it could be, oh, yeah, he took a shower, so he washed off the blood from the murder and he cleaned up the bathroom really nice so that no one could be able to tell. And now, I don't know about you, but I think most people cannot see cleaned up blood through the naked eye. And then that also begs the question of how close was the shooter? Would he have gotten blood on him just from shooting them? Or, because I didn't watch the blood spatter expert. Would he have gotten blood on him just from shooting them, or did he shoot him and just, was spared any blood marks, So questions that need answers, right? Deacon Fatal says that is a good point to Ashley Hempel. Yes. Marianne saying hi to Deacon. Let's see. Queen Olive, welcome to the live stream. I like that name. You see like Olivia, but Olive, I feel like that used to be a name, but I haven't seen it in a while. But I like that Olive as a first name. If that's your first name, I'm just assuming it is. Welcome to the live stream. Deacon Pedro says, Southern voice, I started not being fond of this town anymore. Were we ever fond of the town? We have Shamika J dropping the emojis. Like I said, that StreamYard does not like us to see, but they are there for the chat, right? Welcome to the live stream, Shamika. Nice to see you. We have Justice Jane saying hi, everyone. Hello, welcome into the live stream. We are just getting started talking about Murdaugh and what we think about it. And then we're gonna watch a little bit, and I promise you, it's just gonna be a little bit of what happened in the trial today, just to kind of catch up on it. I probably will not be streaming that long today because as if you guys have been watching for like the last 5 minutes or so, I did have a settlement conference today and it did settle. So that means I don't have to go to trial, which I'm really happy about. I'm happy that they were able to work together and come to an agreement together. So I am going out to celebrate with dessert. Okay. Because I accomplished a lot today. It was a lot. There was some yelling, some things going on there. So I'm happy that it got settled, and I'm gonna go get dessert. I don't care about my diet at this point. I'm getting dessert. Okay. Where Debbie M says, I think I aged 5 years just from watching this trial. Just from watching the trial. Shamika says, I'm still over it. We've been here for too long. It was supposed to be 3 weeks. And what are we on week 6? Yeah. MB, welcome back to the live stream. MB says, oh no, today was so spicy. Okay, well, I'm going to have to catch up at a later time. But today, we're not going to be able to watch the whole thing. Okay, let's see. So I hope we get to some spice while we go, because I haven't watched it. I've only literally watched the beginning of today. I have not watched much of the testimony yet. All right, let's see. Griffin T says that's his name. Okay, it is John Marvin. I don't know why I thought I was making that up. I don't know why. Deacon Beto says, to me, a psychologist is now reviewing the case, and her I think opinions are very interesting. Dr. Patrice Berry, she has done a couple of videos on it. I have not seen that yet, but it might be something worth checking out. Do you think it's good opinions or, not too good opinions? MB says tomorrow the jury will check out Moselle. Yes, I did hear that they'll be going to the house to see what the property looks like. I don't know what, conclusions they want to come from that. Did they explain that? If they did, I missed the explanation of that. But yeah, because I turned it off early after he was done testifying. I turned it off. But yeah, I wonder what conclusions they want to make from that. Like, could he have heard the gunshots if he was still on the property? Could he have left that fast? Where's the gun safe? I don't know. Yep, it's John Marvin. Okay. Is that what I said? I think that is what I was saying. Okay. I think so. MB says his name is John Marvin. The other brother is Randy. Randy is the other Randolph, I would assume, because the grandpa's name is Randolph. The other grandpa's name is Randolph. Everybody's name is Randolph, except for Alex Murdaugh and John Marvin. And why did they give him 2 first names? I don't know. Hello Swanky says, don't forget the like button one time, y'all. Finesse the algorithm. Yes, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like button. We like the video to be liked because we find more friends that way. Elise Kelly says, yeah, there is a jury view tomorrow. Yes, so they probably are going to be starting a little later yet tomorrow. And I would say hopefully I can catch up, but I also have 2 hearings tomorrow morning and a hearing in the afternoon. So I'm probably going to be really behind by time Thursday comes. But we're going to try to do our cases. We're probably going to not talk about Alex Murdaugh on Thursday unless something like super big happens, because we like to, ease our mind from the murder trial. Okay. And surprisingly, watch as soon as I say this happens. Surprisingly, my videos have not been limited talking about the murder trial. Usually, if you say anything about a murder, a gun, or whatever, YouTube will limit your video. So it hasn't happened since this trial has been going on, and I'm happy about that. But it's a little strange. They want us to watch this, right? All right. And then Marianne Williams says, pretty sure it's gonna hang. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. Deacon Fatal says, I watched enough to just get tired of it. Haven't we all? Like, this case is dragging on, okay? It's dragging on, and I don't know when it's gonna stop. Okay, now I'm getting behind in chats because we got more friends here now. Welcome to the party, new friends. It makes me get behind on the chat. I used to be able to read like every single chat and keep up with it, and now I cannot. I cannot. Okay, so let me see. I asked earlier, let me go ahead and make it a poll. Let's make it a poll. Was John Marvin, and he testified yesterday, so hopefully you guys remember. And for those of you that did not watch today, at least we're not asking about anything from today. So was John Marvin's testimony, John Marvin testimony helpful? Let's see. All right. We got yes, no. We're gonna keep them basic, neutral. We're keeping them basic today because I don't want to retype stuff. Okay, so we're gonna ask the community. Go ahead and take your vote in the poll. If you guys are watching on YouTube, well, I'm only on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube and you have access to the poll, make sure you go ahead and vote as to whether John Marvin's testimony, Alex Murdaugh's brother's testimony, was helpful. Randy did not testify, though, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or did I miss that? I don't think he testified. Let me know in the chat if you guys remember him testifying. Randy, the other brother. So yeah, for me, John Marvin came off as a very sympathetic witness in the beginning, especially when it came to his reactions to his own father's passing and then also Paul's passing. I think he was able to explain the whole Paul situation that Alex Murdaugh got questioned about. And it's almost like maybe John Marvin's family called him that, but did Alex Murdaugh actually call him that, or was he using that more as a sympathy card? Like I said, the one thing that kind of struck me as odd about his testimony as to why I don't think it was that helpful was because he, not to say he needed to remember everything, but a lot of the stuff, it was like, this is what I saw. I don't remember that. I don't know the answer to that. Stop asking. He didn't say stop asking me, but he was very open about saying that he doesn't remember. And so for me, I'm like, I don't know if that really helps him or not to say like as if it was there or not. Maybe the defense attorney was just asking the questions just to kind of remind the jury that these things are alleged, whether he remembered it or not. That and the whole shower thing, I don't know if that really benefited Alex Murdaugh case. I don't think they really tied it together as he took a shower and it looked like he cleaned out the bathtub, or he took a shower so he must have washed off the blood. I don't know how helpful his testimony about the shower. I don't understand why they asked that question, to tell you the truth. I feel like it could go either way, and then they didn't tie it to show like what they were actually trying to show. So let me check out the chat. Let me see. I've seen some things about Randy. Okay, Randy did not testify. Okay. Sounds good. And I wonder why. He probably didn't have anything helpful, but he was implicated in helping dropping Alex Murdaugh off at the trial. The other thing that I don't think was very helpful that John Marvin said was during his ride to the Orlando facility, Alex Murdaugh woke up from a dream and he thought he was dreaming about the what happened to Maggie and Paul. And I was just like, how did he tell you that? And then he goes on to say, no, he did not tell me that. That's just what I guessed. Why did he need to say that? What was his point of saying that? I don't know. Okay, we have Swat Watson, another member of the channel, saying hi, Bree and Hive. Got here late. I think the jury will start deliberating on Thursday. I think there will be a verdict by Friday. I think the jury is done with it and wants to get it over with. Imagine being told that you will be there for 3 weeks and you end up there for double the time. I honestly hope they do not come back by Friday. I think it will be very hard for them to go over the weekend without deliberating and then have to come back for Monday. But I really do hope that they don't come back in one day, because there was a lot of evidence. This is 6 weeks. 6 weeks of trial. If they come back within a day, that's really, really fast. So I'm hoping they don't come back that fast, but I understand they might want their weekends. But you don't want someone you do not want your life and you going to prison to be reliant on someone having a good weekend. And Griffin T said helpful to Alex or helpful to the prosecution. I probably should have clarified that. I meant helpful to Alex. I probably should have clarified that one, but you guys can let me know how you're voting, why you made your vote in the chat. We got nope. Randy didn't, and just Buster and John Marvin were the only family members that testified. Jennifer MK says Randy did not testify. He's still at Alex's old law firm. Oh, okay. Got to keep it quiet. Keep it quiet. Lola Waterton said Randy did not testify. Alex also stole money from him personally and also from the law firm. Don't know if the two are related. So he could have been a bad witness to call. Maybe the prosecution should have called him. Maybe the prosecution should have called him. Deacon Fado says, I'm sleeping and hanging in there. And what in the world is going on outside of my door? I don't know. Well, be careful out there. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Christina Pia says, I think it's going to be a hung jury. And then Weird Debbie says, I still have questions. I think a lot of people still have questions, and I don't know if I can talk fully on this because I have not been watching the whole thing, but there's a lot. Like, I don't think him testifying helped his case. Alex Murdaugh testifying for himself, I don't think it helped his case. It just made him look like a liar. We have not talked about that on the channel. Do you think that Alex Murdaugh's Let's go ahead and close this poll because I was not clear. Let's see. Why are you not working here? We're going to end the poll. Let's go ahead and start a new poll. Was Alex Murdaugh's testimony, did Alex Murdaugh, I'm just going to put AM, and that's going to represent Alex Murdaugh, testimony help him in this trial? We got yes, no, and his testimony was neutral. Let's see what the chat thinks so far. And so we're going to start with the first witness today. I'm going to go ahead and drop that chat. Check out a couple more of the chats that have come in. And then we're going to go ahead and start watching the beginning of today's testimony and then see how far we can get. Samwine Ganja, a member of the channel, welcome back to the channel, saying so many questions. I think a lot of people are on that same wave with you. Marianne Williams says, if you still have questions, that would be a not guilty, right? Exactly. They did not prove the case. Prosecution would not have proved the case beyond a reasonable doubt. Questions. Where's the gun? That's the first question. 2, why were there 2 different guns used? Was there 2 shooters? Are we just assuming there's 2 shooters? Was there 1 shooter that just switched the guns? Where are the guns? This is a gun house. If he did it, where is it? Why have we not been able to find it? But then again, there was a cold case of someone that his children may have allegedly killed, and that got swept under the rug. So who would know if a gun also would get swept under the rug? I don't think it would be hard for them to do. I watched the full Netflix documentary. Have you guys watched it? I watched it. It makes him look a little more guilty to me. Christina Pia says there are a lot of questions, which is why it will be hung. Yes, I agree with that. Samwine Ganja says, I think so. Yep. And then Ashley Himbo says, I think he was involved, but prosecution didn't do a great job. I will say the Attorney General, I'm going to go with, did much better clarifying the Creighton Waters has done all day. I don't know exactly what that's referring to. I'm not familiar with that. But yes, I think they have not done the best of job. I think they probably brought it or, indicted him too early before they had enough information, and they were not expecting the speedy trial to happen. Let's check out the vote. Let's see what's going on. It's not looking good for Mr. Alex Murdaugh. We have 18 votes so far, and I said, did Alex Murdaugh testimony help him in this trial? This is his trial. He is on the line of going to jail for murder of his family. And we got 94% with no and 6% with yes, that his testimony helped. I'm going to have to lean more towards it did not help him in this trial. It just made him come off as a liar. I'm glad his testimony was not 45 days, though, like in the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and the Amber Heard trial where their testimony went days and days and days. But I don't think he really helped himself in the testimony for himself. So we got 2 more votes, and now we're at 95% no and 5% yes. So that was cool. That was cool. All right. So no one went with neutral for that one. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump into the case. Let's see what's going on here. Let me know. Okay, guys. So I did it. I think you guys should be able to hear the audio without me needing to try to use my microphone. So let me know if you guys can hear the audio of the video pretty good. So let's see here. Let me share the screen first of all, Brianna. Okay. And then let's make this more beautiful than it is. And then we're going to play it. Well, they're not saying anything yet. So that could be one of the problems. I probably skipped that too much. Oh my gosh. Well, we're messing up already. What does TLA say? Struggle streaming?
You don't go around looking for hogs in the daytime.
Okay. I skipped a little bit too much. Let's see. I'll let them have their water. Let me know if you guys can hear it okay coming from the video, because I can hear it on my end. I'm sharing the audio through StreamYard, so let me know if you guys can hear it. They're not talking yet. I'll just be patient and let them get to their portion of talking. I do have it on 1.5 speed so that it goes by a little bit quicker.
You have heard the defense's case. Now the state gets an opportunity to reply. And you may call your first witness.
May I please call your Honor, State calls Ronnie Crosby.
And he is, I think, a friend of Paul, but he seems kind of old to be a friend of Paul. So please correct me in the chat if you can. I mean, if you know, I did not watch his original testimony.
Have a seat on stand. If you would state your name for the record and spell your last name, please.
Okay, let me see. It's all the way turned up here. Let me see if I need to turn it up on my screen.
BCROSBY.
Good morning, Mr. Crosby.
Good morning.
Just want to go over a few things very quickly in reply to some of the defense case. And the first thing I want to ask you is, you had previously testified about your close relationship with Paul, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Does that
And
sound
over
a
the years,
little
did you ever
bit
have Paul to ride
better?
around property with Paul, yours or his?
More on my property, but some on one or more occasions at Moselle as well.
What, if anything, would y'all carry when y'all rode around the property?
Why? This is about Paul?
Yes, sir. This will be in specific response to the defendant's testimony and in his statements as well. I can be specific. I don't want to do a speaking response.
Let me know about the audio because I haven't tested it out yet.
You heard prior testimony that you don't go around looking for hogs in the daytime because they're nocturnal from the defendant, did you not? Are you familiar that was what was said?
Objection, Your Honor. If it's based on what he's heard or seen, I mean, is this a comment made to him, or if we're going to delve into the appropriate way to hunt hogs day or night? I mean, this is not proper reply. Object.
They're objecting at least now.
Yeah, if you don't mind asking the question again.
Sure. My first question is, have you gone riding around the property with your property or the Moselle property with Paul before?
Thank you,
I have.
Mary Ann,
And what
for
if anything
letting
would
me
y'all carry when
know.
you go riding the property?
I believe the only time I rode with Paul was
Julia, thank you.
looking for hogs, and more so on my property.
All right. And what if anything would you carry when y'all were looking for hogs?
Your Honor, riding with Paul on his property, not Moselle.
Well, people who have hogs on their property, as a general rule, you would always take a rifle with you, be it day or night, because you never know when you're going to see hogs, and because they are such a nuisance, as I spoke to earlier in my testimony, you always want to be prepared to shoot them. So you would generally have some type of rifle and we with you, a long gun.
And so since the hogs are nuisances, they just kill them?
All right. You've had plenty of experience in killing hogs on your property?
Yes, I would disagree with Mr. Harpootlian. I am pretty much an expert about killing hogs.
All right. And you've had plenty of opportunity to go hunt with Paul?
Objection, Your Honor. I apologize to the witness.
Oh,
And you've had plenty of opportunity to go hunt with Paul or have him hunt on your
Yeah,
property?
yes, I've been with him and he's been on my property many more times. I didn't go with him every time he was on my property, but that's the general rule, that you would have a rifle of some sort. Paul, as this jury's been told over and over, was fond of that 300 Blackout. I've been with him while he had it. I usually use some other type of AR frame gun to shoot hogs.
A 223?
Well, 223 or a 6.5 Creedmoor, which is on an AR-10 frame.
Is it common though to carry a rifle and look for hogs in the daytime and to see hogs in the daytime?
Yes, you don't always see them. Sometimes night's better if you're using a night vision scope, but I've killed hundreds of hogs in the daytime riding. It's just something, because there's such a nuisance in the low country and really across the state right now and across the South, that we have a rule that you don't ride the property without a rifle, because you want to try to eliminate as many hogs as you can, and we also trap them.
To your observation, did Alec have a good relationship with the local law enforcement community?
My observation was Elk had a very good relationship with, probably better than the rest of us, saving his father.
is
Did
this?
you want to take
Oh, I
the
have it on
details,
2x speed. My bad. Let me
original
slow it
story
down
as
a
to what he
little
did on the night
bit.
of the murders.
There we go. That was
On
like
more than one
2
occasion,
speed.
we discussed his story, as I testified to. I don't know how many weeks ago that was, but it was a while.
Thank you, Lola.
And what, if anything, did the defendant tell you about whether or not he checked Paul and Maggie before calling 911?
Alex's friend. Okay.
My understanding of what he told me was that he checked them before he called 911.
And was he clear on that point to you?
That was clear to me.
When was the first time you've heard the defendant's latest story admitting that he was in fact at the kennels?
Thank you,
minutes before
MB,
the bill?
former co-worker.
I haven't watched all of this trial like a lot of people have, but when I heard that Elliot was taking the stand, I believe it was last Thursday, I did set up my workstation so that I could watch his testimony, and it would have been when he told you that he was at the kennels was the first time that I'd ever heard that.
Did Alec ever
Wow.
tell you
That
that he thought
says
the
a
boat
lot.
case had anything to do with murders?
Consistent with what Alec told in his testimony, he specifically told me that and told us that he did not believe that anyone on the boat had anything to do with it. I don't recall any other conversations with him related to the boat case, but he specifically did not believe, and I think that's what he said last week, that anybody on the boat. But as far as anybody outside, there was a lot of speculation going on, but I don't remember ever discussing that with him. And
With him.
right, because we wouldn't know. I mean, everything beyond was.
Yeah, that's what I thought, that they
I
were
don't know.
also
It would be
destructive.
speculation, but I didn't have a conversation with him about that.
But he just
Did
said
you
a
ever have a
nuisance.
conversation with the defendant about Barrett Boulware needing money because of his illness?
And you're referring to, yes, I did in
Welcome
I believe it
in,
would have been
Jazzy
June of
Nerd.
2018. Barrett and Alec were very, what I consider to be very close.
Improper reply.
Improper reply.
Yes, sir. The defendant during cross-examination was specifically asked about this particular transaction and that we're about to discuss. And Mr. Crosby's testimony would be in response to what the defendant said about the money. And in as much as he tried to imply that, well, Barrett kind of owed me money anyway, as justification for him stealing money from one of his best friends.
He did not ask him about a conversation he had with Mr. Crosby about that money. This isn't proper reply. This is going off on another tangent.
Overrule the objection.
Okay.
Can you tell us about that conversation, please?
They got the objections going
Yes,
now,
in
at
the-
least.
And if my year's wrong, but I believe, because I didn't know exactly what you were going to ask me, and I can go back and look at documents, but I'm sure it's in one of these exhibits when that occurred, the materials that Ms. Seconder put in. I believe in June of 2018, Barrett, who was a good friend of Alex, a lot closer to me. I think they were, in my perception, very close friends. But I had become friends with him and had done a couple of real estate transactions with him. That summer, I received a call from his son-in-law. Barrett was in the Mayo Clinic with stage 4 colon cancer.
Oh, not the face.
Objection's overruled.
I do know for a fact that he was in the
Eh,
Mayo Clinic.
Yeah, hearsay.
Suffering, being treated for stage 4 colon cancer, and I received a call as to whether I could help Barrett financially.
Your Honor, hearsay, a call.
Objection's overruled.
Because his wife did not have enough money to stay. Barrett had some waterfront lots.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay. All this material came from somebody else.
How does he not know he doesn't know he have that?
I do know this.
Overruled. Yeah. How do you know he doesn't
I
know?
already bought a lot from him, but anyway, he had a
Who
lot
owns
that
the
he
lot?
asked if I would buy so that they would have money to be able to. for
Just
his wife
because
to stay
someone
down in
testified about it does
Jacksonville,
not make it
while he was
hearsay.
receiving cancer treatments. And I had a conversation with Alec about that.
Tell us about the conversation you had with Alec about that, please.
I just told him, man, it's bad. Barrett's looks like he's going to die. And he did die in September of that year. And he acknowledged it, and he said that it was good what I was doing for Barrett because he knew that he was in bad financial shape and obviously
I
bad health.
agree.
And you're obviously a member of this law firm, and your review of the records as all this came to light, did that conversation take place around the time that the defendant was stealing some of Barrett's money?
Yes, through this investigation that y'all have heard about into the financial stuff starting in early September of 2021, we started going through a lot of files, and as part of that process somewhere, I determined that in June of 2018, I believe, and I can't tell you the exact figure,
I
but I
see
believe it
that for
was
sure.
$70-something thousand insurance check that came to the firm on behalf of Mr. Boulware that didn't go through the firm. It was just Alec took it that same month that we had that conversation. And then later there was some more money taken after he died.
I'll show you what's been marked as Exhibit 575. States 575, see if you recognize that.
Is that one of the sled agents?
You not recognize him?
Is that David Williams?
Well, I'm asking you.
I believe that's David Williams.
Okay. Your Honor, this time I'd offer States 575 in the evidence.
Objection, relevance.
What is the relevance?
Your Honor, the defendant specifically testified that when he had that initial interview with David Owen on June 8th, as he manufactured his decision to lie about such a crucial fact, it was because he thought that David Williams was the guy interviewing him. This is simply a picture of David Williams.
Oh,
We can assess the legitimacy of that claim.
Never, ever said David Williams. He said David. That's the record.
Objection.
Never that guy.
Submitted over objection.
Have the element, please. All right. That's who you recognize as David Williams?
Yes, I didn't know him. I got to know him through this investigation, and I do believe he was the agent that was involved in the case with Mr. Chief Greg Alexander that was referenced.
Clearly not David Owen, though, correct?
Well, that's not David Owen.
Have you ever tried cases with Ellick?
I handled a lot of cases with Alec. I believe the only case I tried to jury with Alec was actually here in this courtroom.
Did you observe him being able to get emotional during that?
I'm gonna pause it because this comment from Griffin T. And I don't know, they're not really saying much I have much comment on so far. Maybe I should have picked a better witness. But Griffin T says, here's what pushes me past reasonable doubt. He was definitely at the scene at the time of the murders, and he lied to everyone about it, not just law enforcement, but I think he had help with cleanup. It does almost sound like he has help with cleanup, right? He did lie to everyone about being at the scene. And if you were at the scene or not at the scene, why lie about it? Even if whoever it was that shot him let him go. I don't know if I would lean more towards, and this is just my speculation of he pulled the trigger, but I think he knows more than what he is saying in the trial. So I don't know if it will push me past reasonable doubt, because you can find someone guilty of murder off of circumstantial evidence, but I just don't think that they have presented enough like legitimate circumstantial evidence to really show that he was the one that did it. And that's just my opinion, my speculations. That's it. But I'm not, I honestly do not think he is the one that pulled the trigger. He may know who did it. He may have told someone to do it, but I don't think he is the one that pulled the trigger. And I think a better case against him may have been conspiracy, because I think a lot of the stuff that happens, you can, infer he had knowledge. You can convince someone that he had knowledge of what was going on, but I don't think that we can fully convince someone of he was the one that shot him and carried around 2 guns and shot them 2 different times. How would he have had time to switch the guns and all of the things? Did he have someone come and help him? All of the questions that I don't know if it pushes me past reasonable doubt here. Danielle says, hey, gross. Alex is gross. Oh, man. It's not looking good for him. No. Swat Watson says, Poot's cross today was very good, and I'm not a fan of his. Yeah, he was aggressive today. He had some objections and an angry face going on so far. This testimony is not interesting to me. I probably, like I said, should have picked different witnesses, but I didn't have time to go through everyone today. Let's see. Deacon Fatal says, it's giving me the way the attorneys are moving around. What is that movie? The musical Chicago. They do move around a lot. Yeah, I would agree with you there. Elizabeth Carmichael says, wait until Cross Ronnie gets feisty. I can only imagine what's going to happen here. Z Celtic says, don't worry, it gets good at Cross. Okay, how long does it take to get to Cross? Did he just rest his case? I can't remember. Okay, let's get back into it. Let's see, because they are not exciting me here.
Yes, as a couple months ago when we talked and you asked me what kind of lawyer Alec was, and I told you he was a good lawyer. And one of the things that I think I explained to you was that he was a theatrical type presence in the courtroom, and he could get very emotional doing closing arguments.
Maybe they're theatrical too, with all the
Thank
movement.
you. Please answer questions of the defense.
Okay, so that was pretty short.
No here, but let's talk about hog hunting, which I know nothing about. Okay.
You might not want to go there then.
Oh, not
I've been here
making
so
jokes.
long, I think I probably do need to learn how to hog hunt. But I guess my first question is this: did you ever ride Moselle with Alec? Did you ride around Moselle with Alec?
Probably. I know I dove hunted there, so I believe I rode on a Ranger, but I don't ever remember doing much riding with Alec at Moselle. But I know I dove hunted there, and sure, I rode in a Ranger or some type of ATV with Alec, but I don't have a
So
specific.
when you're riding around dove hunting,
At
you got a gun,
Moselle,
right?
though, is the question.
Would you take a shotgun to hunt up?
Yes.
Would you take an AR weapon too?
No.
Why? I mean, them hogs are out there, right?
Well, they don't usually come in a dove field when you're shooting dove. So
Well-
I don't know. You just wouldn't, Mr. Hartbootlian, typically. I mean,
But it's daytime, riding around the property, you got a shotgun. You got a slug in that shotgun, or you using birdshot?
you would shoot birdshot.
Okay. So if a hog came up, nothing you could do.
If a hog came into a dove field with a bunch of dove hunters,
Well, maybe
they would
you're
shoot
on
at him regardless.
Maybe you're on your way to the dove field. The dove field's not right next to the house, is it?
Yes, it's right within a few hundred yards.
Bordered by the swamp?
The swamp's on one end of it, yeah.
Okay. And where do the hogs live during the day, primarily?
Well, they can live in the swamp, they can live in a bay, they can be anywhere, but largely in the swamp.
The swamp. So a hog could have come out of that swamp,
Yes.
and you were unarmed.
As I said, if a hog came in a dove field near somebody dove hunting, they would probably shot it with birdshot,
Yeah, I wouldn't call that
It was close enough,
unarmed.
but unlikely.
But unlikely. So you have, in fact, ridden around Moselle without a gun to kill a hog, appropriate gun to kill a hog.
Well, yes, if I was going over to the dove field, I wouldn't have one.
But you've never ridden as Paul and Alec did that afternoon, just looking at different, like where deer, what do they call them? Where they plant stuff for deer?
Food plots?
Or looking around at how these fruit trees were doing. Remember the Snapchat video?
I've never done that with elk, and that I recall, but I could have in the past, but I don't have a specific recollection.
Or where they planted some corn for, I guess use corn for deer and ducks?
You do, but you don't plant them in the same spot.
No, I get that. One would be near a pond or in a pond or around a pond.
Correct, they had a duck pond.
Right. And then the others would just be out where the deer might come out and try to feed. Right. Look, we don't need to go there.
Yeah, I don't think, yeah.
Okay. But you've never rode around like that with them, looking at different plantings and that you remember.
I don't have a specific recollection of doing that with Alex.
Okay, but you're not telling this jury that they would do that without a blackout. Would it bother you or offend you or scare you that they're riding around the property during the daytime without the blackout?
No, I was answering questions about what's normal if you were looking for hogs or if you're just riding my property. Most people carry a gun, but no, I have no idea what they had with them or what they were doing.
And I think Al testified they were looking for signs of hogs because you could come back. It'd be a lot easier to find those hogs at night, right? They come out more likely at night than they do during the day.
They can become nocturnal when they have a lot of pressure, but as I said before, we've shot a lot of hogs in the daytime. You
Sure.
can ride up on them and yeah.
But has anybody testified they were out looking to shoot hogs that afternoon?
I don't know what all the testimony's been in this
Okay.
trial.
All I'm saying is there seems to be some implication they would not ride around the property without an AR or some sort of blackout. You can't testify to that, right?
I cannot.
So let's talk a little bit about what you heard from Alec the night of June 7th. You would agree with me that, well, let's ask it this way. What your practice is primarily personal injury, is that correct?
It is.
Catastrophic injuries.
Well, I handle a lot of catastrophic injury cases.
Cases, for instance, where a husband and wife are riding down the road and hit by a tractor trailer. And by way of example, maybe you could give me something more specific. Husband's killed, wife's severely injured. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now, is it your experience in people who undergo, maybe they're not hurt, but their loved one is hurt, maybe killed? In that situation, that's a traumatic experience for the surviving person, correct? To see their loved one killed?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so when you sit down with those folks and begin to recount with them what happened that night, oftentimes, I do the work like you do, oftentimes those folks misremember or get times wrong, or because they went through this very traumatic
he
experience. And the closer to that
testifying
experience,
or
the
arguing?
more likely they are to get some things wrong. Times, for instance. Is that your experience?
That
They
was a
can, but I also
long-
find that people who have been involved in traumatic experiences try to be very
forthcoming
try to
with
be very accurate
information.
with the details. Because
Yep,
that's important
that
when
is
you're
true.
representing them.
And typically, you don't go out to the scene of the crime interview or the scene of the accident interview on that night, do you? Typically?
Sometimes.
Well, typically you don't because you don't know it's happened.
Well, sometimes in the old days they used to do that, but they don't do that anymore, right?
That would be very rare.
So you're seeing them in your office.
Sometimes you
later?
see them in the hospital.
It can be days, can be weeks.
Okay. And in that atmosphere, it's a little more conducive to them being as accurate as possible, right?
It is, but oftentimes we also have the benefit of recorded interviews when there's a catastrophic injury. Typically, the highway patrol.
Yeah,
will get-
someone
try to
asked
interview
some
people as
questions.
quickly as
Maybe
they
not
can.
your lawyer, but
And
someone
often have
asked
it on
you
video off the
questions.
dash cam, or sometimes body cam, but and a lot of times written statements.
And written statements from witnesses saw it happen.
Correct.
And so when you interview those people, they have the benefit of reviewing whatever you have.
Hey,
to help
Tanya,
them
welcome
better represent
in.
What happened, correct?
Yeah, guys,
That's-
don't
that's
forget to hit
correct.
the like button.
So the instance you're talking about where Alec told you he turned him over before he made the 911 call, whatever it was, I'm not quite sure. Before, I think is what you said. If that would be inconsistent with something he says later on, after having reviewed other people's statements, looking at video, that would not be unusual in your business. I think you just said it would not be unusual, correct? Strike that,
You're
strike that,
you're
strike
trying
that.
to take me somewhere that you probably don't want.
Oh,
I think I want to. Answer the question.
oh, wait a
Wrong
minute.
question.
Wait a minute. He said, you are about to take me somewhere you probably don't want to. That sounds like a threat to me. I just wanted to pause because I see that Marianne Williams has gifted 5 Boss Attorney Bree memberships. Thank you so much for gifting some memberships to the channel. Thank you. We definitely appreciate it. We have 5 new members thanks to Marianne Williams. We have, let me see, this thing keeps scrolling too much. Here we go. We have Elizabeth Carmichael. Welcome to the Bree Hive membership. We have MB. Welcome to the Bree Hive membership. We got Alicia G. Welcome to the Bree Hive membership. And then we have Anna Lulu and Becca has thoughts. Welcome to the Bree Hive membership. Thank you so much, Mary Ann, for gifting some memberships. You guys now have badges next to your name, and you get cool little emojis that the chat can see, but StreamYard does not show when you put them, but still put them because the chat can see, and I can see it over in my little YouTube studio. So thank you guys so much. I am happy to have more members. Go ahead, chat. Welcome them to the membership. If you guys have not already, go ahead and hit the like button on this stream. And if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button because we are trying to grow the channel this year. And we have fun over here, right? So let's just help us out. And it's free to hit the subscribe and the like button. All right, I saved 2 chats while this was going on. We have Julia543 saying, that's the frustrating part, Bree. I think what the state has charged him with, pulling the trigger for each of them, has not been proven beyond a reasonable doubt. I am right there with you. I think they have a lot of circumstantial that may show knowledge, but I don't think they have enough to say he is the one that pulled the trigger. And then Connie Katz, another member of the channel, says, I think if he would have hired someone, he would have snitched on them like he did Eddie Smith. If there was anyone to throw under the bus for this, Alex would have already. I feel you on that one. I definitely feel you on that one. But one thing that comes to my mind is that if the person didn't snitch, why would he snitch? I feel like Eddie Smith was getting ready to snitch if he had not already snitched. That would be one of the things. But I definitely, he is the type of person that puts him, from what I can see, in my opinion of him, he does seem like the type of person that will put himself first before anyone else. But even admitting that someone else pulled the trigger would still make him liable. Even if he was just an accomplice or he committed a conspiracy, he could still be charged with the same amount of time. So it's in his best interest to stay quiet, even if he knows, if he told the person to pull the trigger, whether he was there or not, he told that person to pull the trigger, he could be on the line for the same amount of time as that person. So if they're not snitching, it makes sense for him not to snitch. Just like his son allegedly hitting that boy with a bat in 2015, just like his son allegedly driving the boat over. I think that one's a little bit more said and done. Drove the boat and made the girl disappear. You know, they tend to hide things as long as it's benefiting them. And in this situation, hiding it, if this is true, hiding it is still benefiting him. But I definitely see where you're coming from on that one. Okay, let's see. Where Debbie says pooty poo poo. Yeah, right. You are taking me somewhere you do not want me to go. Swat Watson says Mary Ann is the best, isn't she though? Thank you so much, Mary Ann, for those gifted memberships. Elizabeth Carmichael says, oh, thank you, Mary Ann. So sweet of you, and giving us an emoji, member emoji. Where Debbie M says chili, it's getting spicy. Where Debbie says woohoo, gifted memberships. Yes, of course. Thank you again to Mary Ann. They are talking to each other. Swat Watson says I meant Mary Ann. Sorry for the misspelling. All right, let's see. And then Mary Ann saying you're welcome. Tiny D says I'm about to mute this part and just read the chat because Poop almost made me cuss out loud today. Hey, I can see where you're getting. I can see why that would happen. Because he really did try to lean him down the wrong path. And to tell you the truth, I wasn't really listening to the question. It was too long. But with the way he responded, and then he said, what did he say? Strike that. And my boy had said, you don't want me to go there, bro. You do not want me to go there. Deacon Fatal says to Tanya D, I mistook a break from the trial today. Cause yeah, I'm just watching for the recap. Yeah, we're just recapping, and we're only watching a little bit, like I said at the beginning of the stream. I'll probably catch up on this on my own time, and then we'll talk about it probably next week, and we'll cover some other fun cases on Thursday. That is the plan. I don't have any trials or anything on Thursday. No. So we should be covering some good cases on Thursday, or not, maybe not good cases, but fun cases rather than this. Okay. Let's see. All right. Let's go ahead and jump back into this. Let's see how much spicier Mr. Ronnie can get.
Let me ask you this question. Maybe let's get to the meat of the matter here. Have you had to come out of pocket?
Look at the guy back here smiling.
Yes, and if you,
how much? Don't tell me you don't know.
Oh,
well, we're still
Sure.
counting, Mr. Harpootlian.
Well, how much have you paid so far?
We have had to borrow millions to pay back.
No, how much have you had to come out of pocket?
Well, when you borrow it, you got to pay it back, and I couldn't tell
Let
you how
him
much has
finish.
exactly been paid back as of we sit here today. But
Okay.
yes, and if you're implying that I would come in here and somehow shade truth in any way because of that, I would take high offense with that, Mr.
I'm not concerned
Harpootlian.
about your high offense. Are you angry at him for stealing your money?
I have no feeling one way or the
You
other.
don't have any feeling
not
about Alex
yelling.
Murdaugh betraying you and stealing your money. I admire you. I don't know that I could look beyond that.
It's sustained. There's not a question. Jury is to disregard the argument.
You are not angry with Alex Murdaugh?
I have had anger with him, extreme anger, Mr. Harpootlian,
What
because of what he
question?
did to my law firm, my partners, my client, his clients, our clients, what he did to his family,
this
what he did to so many people. Yes, I experienced a lot of anger,
And
but
then
you can't walk around with anger. You have to find a way to deal with it and move forward. And I have done that. And if you
That's a good
suggest
answer.
you are dead wrong, if you think I've come in here and told this jury something because of money, when we're talking about two people who were brutally murdered, then
Yeah.
you're headed in the wrong direction.
Do you think he did it?
Wrong direction.
I don't have an opinion. I don't have the benefit of the materials you have.
Well, let me ask you this.
Why would
You're
he
angry at him,
ask?
stole millions of
Why
dollars from
would
your
he
father.
ask?
Your firm
Oh my
paid you
gosh!
$1,000.
Why would he ask him if he think he did it? He could have blew this whole thing up and says, "Yes, of course he did. I know he did it." Why would he ask them that? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Okay, I can see why some people was cussing at Harpootlian today. Oh man, let's see.
All right.
That was not a
It is
good
not.
question.
I don't admit that I'm angry right now. I told you I've gotten away from that. I don't have any feelings because you can't walk around with anger. I have been very, very angry
You
about
seem
it
a little
because of what he's
angry to
done.
me.
And he did it in a very callous way, a very deceitful way.
And you carry no, I'm sorry, maybe I just saw some anger there. Were you angry just a moment ago?
Oh,
No, you keep trying to push a question and don't want to accept my answer, which is what it is.
That you've just given your
you do seem a
Zen,
little
your
angry.
Nirvana, your whatever.
That
the
makes people
objection.
more angry.
Mr.
Have you
Harpootlian,
forgiven him?
I came to the scene of these murders to support my partner. I was there. I saw things that hadn't even been talked about in this courtroom. I was there. I love Paul very much. I thought I knew who Alec was. I did not. And it's hard you might not understand, but it's hard to walk around with anger and hard to even walk around with it when it's with somebody who you didn't know and didn't understand. So you might have be that way, but you know, I've got a function, I've got a family, I got to move on with life.
You let
You're aware
him
that he
say a
went to
lot.
rehab in 2017.
I was not,
Really?
other than what was said by Alec in this courtroom.
You never were aware he had a drug problem.
I was unaware.
Sort of.
And if I would have been known, I would have tried to help him.
Oh,
You indicated that he could be emotional in trying a case, correct?
He could be. He was theatric, much like his father and grandfather had a courtroom theatrics, and he could be emotional.
Any of your other partners that way? Johnny Parker?
No, Johnny's
how
quite the
is
opposite.
this
Johnny's
helping
very,
Alex though?
I believe it's the best way to
Yeah,
describe it.
he doesn't show emotion.
Nobody else in your firm is theatric or emotional?
Not to Alec's level.
You don't know any other lawyers in the state that go to that level?
You're asking me a question right now. I don't know. You might
Ask and answer.
yourself. I don't know. I don't know what other lawyers do. I'm usually trying cases against defense attorneys, so I don't get to see plaintiffs' lawyers anymore.
Well, I want to thank you for, let me ask you one last thing. This Bullware guy that he stole all the money from? Mr. Bullware, remember him?
Yes, I remember him.
How much money did you steal from him? Do you remember?
He stole 70-something thousand
Right.
in June of 2018. Mr. Bulwer died in September, I believe, of 2018. I believe another 270-something thousand after Mr. Bulwer's death, sometime in around February of 2019.
Have you and your partners paid Mr. Bullware's estate or his folks back?
One thing, they like objected to money coming into this case, but now he's going in talking about the money, trying to show that he's a biased witness. But at first they didn't want the money to come in. So, I mean, I guess you could use it to your advantage now because it did come in, but you're still reminding the jury that your client stole thousands, if not millions of dollars from his law firm and his friends and potentially his family because they worked at the law firm. Like, why are you reminding the jury of this? I get you're trying to show that he's an angry person and he's mad at Alex, but I don't think this is helping you, Poop. Maybe I'm speaking too soon. Maybe he's gonna tie it together. But why are you reminding the jury that your client is a thief? Okay, all right. A Connie Cat said Poop came at him like he did the murders. Rude, right? Right. He's acting like he's the one on trial. I understand he's a hostile witness, but geez Louise. And why would you ask him if your client did it? He could have said, yes, I do think he did it. But I guess then you can gear your testimony as, oh, I think he did it, so let me say what I need to say for the jury to think he did it. So I guess I get why he asked that. But geez Louise, it's getting hot in here. I was not expecting this because he was kind of boring to me at first. It's a little boring to me at first, but I guess he made up for it for sure. Aloe says, in my opinion, the end of his cross is not helpful to the defense. I don't know if any of this was helpful to the defense. He tried to say about having the proper gun when you're shooting doves. It didn't tie to me because I don't know, I'm not a hunter, and maybe some of the jury are also not hunters, so you still need to tie it together, and maybe he's just not there with tying it together yet, but he's kind of moved on to trying to get under my guy Ronnie's skin here. Okay, let's see what's going on.
Yes, I met with him personally.
Okay. And even though it's cost you your firm and it's cost millions of dollars to you, you have forgiven him? You bear him no ill?
I didn't say I forgave him.
You're just not angry about it anymore.
I said I have no feelings. And I had to work on that, Mr.
No,
Hartman.
it won't.
You know,
It won't.
when you go through what we've gone through, not only the trauma of losing people we love in a double homicide, seeing the aftermath, and then learning that someone you worked with for more than 20 years had been stealing throughout a period of time and deceiving us. There's a lot of emotion there. And
I agree with him. It's a lot of negative things surrounding Alex Murdaugh. So I could see how he could get so angry. Not only do you have the boat case, okay, let's remove you from that. But now you're talking about 2 of your family members died and they're alleging you did it and you've been stealing money from the firm. It's not good.
yes, it was bad in the fall of 2021. And I have found a way to have no feelings. It's not forgiveness. It's just,
You're not angry here today. You're not angry at him at all.
I'm not angry.
Okay.
If I raise my voice, it's only because of the implication that you were trying to
The
make out of it.
implication that you might not want to help him in front of this jury here today. Because
Why would he need to help him?
because
He's just
destroyed your firm.
testifying.
He stole millions of dollars you had to pay back.
He doesn't have to help him.
All that's away and is not influencing your testimony here today at all. If you'd answer that yes or no, then you can explain.
The money does not affect me.
All those things happened, and it does not influence my testimony. I take the
Good
oath that I just
answer.
took very seriously. And if you got any indication that anything I said was inaccurate, I'll be glad to address it with you.
Well, the jury can judge that.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Not the roll in the eyes. Oh my God. Is that girl back there with her mouth
How long
open?
did you know Alec?
Since the late 90s.
And knowing what you know now, was he able to look you in your eye and lie convincing to you? day in and day
He
out?
was.
He did.
Was he
Yes,
able to
he
look
was.
juries in the eye and display emotion?
That is not appropriate redirect. And it's leading.
You just talked about. He did talk
Mr.
about
Harpootlian
emotion.
asked you about some of the things that you have gone through. And is your issue with Mr. Harpootlian's questioning the implication that you would come in and shade things in front of this jury?
Objection, leading.
What is your concern with Mr. Harpootlian's questioning of you? Can you
Well,
express that to the jury, please? All that he just,
just
went
told
through
him
with
the
you,
answer.
sitting up on the stand, having to deal with this. What is your problem with what he was trying to say?
I just
Well,
believe they're objective.
Unfortunately, well, to start with, I took an oath to tell the truth. But we as lawyers also have oaths and obligations to a court.
Yes, that's
and,
true.
And it goes a lot deeper than just that oath. We are bound by rules of professional conduct, ethical rules that I take very seriously as a lawyer. To my knowledge, I enjoy a very good reputation as far as being a person of integrity. And that's what I took issue with, is him attempting, because he cannot impugn my integrity.
That's fair.
Ooh, good for you,
Would
Ronnie.
you take a 22 if you went out looking for hogs?
Possibly a 22 Magnum, which is a long rifle.
Which is a long rifle?
Yes.
You take a long rifle, not a pistol, is that correct?
Yeah, I would never, I'm not a good shot with a pistol, but I would never take a pistol.
And what was Paul's favorite gun for shooting hogs with?
I knew he always had a 300 blackout, but I don't know if he shot him with anything else.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Nothing further.
Any more cross?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I just can't leave this alone.
Oh,
The
please, Poot.
It's a 300 blackout that's in evidence in his favor. The 300 blackout with a thermal scope on it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Step down.
That's it.
I'll call your next witness.
Your Honor, state calls Dr. Reamer.
Okay, we'll go through the doctor too. It seems like they're going through them pretty quickly, so we should be able to watch at least one or two more people. Y'all know I got a dessert date coming up, so we're not gonna be here all night. Let's see. I'm gonna try to get some of these chats. So if you guys have something to say, I'm gonna try to get to them. So go ahead and drop your chat. Amber says, "What is a grand jury and what do they hear and see to indict?" So they have to present, the grand jury is basically who the prosecution or the state goes up to say, this person did these things, so we need to charge them. And they just present whatever evidence that they have, but doesn't have to be exactly too deep. So they present evidence and they decide whether or not they're going to indict them. Cass the Sass says, "Hi y'all, hello, a member of the channel, welcome back." We got Connie Cass saying, "Look how Poop put up his hand to try to stop Ronnie from talking." Yeah, he has to talk over that man because that man is gonna finish his sentence. You got to be like, okay, that's enough. MB says, if someone would question my integrity like Dickie Poot, I would be furious. That's what happened to Ronnie. Danielle said, "Good job to Ronnie." Yes, he definitely handled that well, and he explained it well. I don't think it made Poot look as good as he thought it was going to make him look. Okay. Cass Sass says, "I really like Ronnie. I think he did a good job. I think the fact that he is a lawyer and he could stand on being a lawyer and having all those kind of avenues to be ethical, I think that really makes him look like, I think he's a credible witness, but I think that made him look even more credible that the defense attorney gave him the opportunity to say those things like, no, I'm not mad. Like, yeah, of course I'm mad at him for doing it, but that would not affect my integrity to come to lie to the court to get him to go to jail. We still have, like, Ronnie could have been like, we still have the financial freaking case, or no, it's not their case, huh? That's not their financial case. They can bring a financial case against him if they wanted to. They know he did it. Like, come on now. Wait, is the financial? Oh, I'll have to look at it. I don't know if that financial case is against them. Pretty Mama Bear says, "I really like Ronnie too." Julia 543 says, "I mean, Poot, that's directly related to what you asked." It is. Connie Cat says, "The female lawyer is wearing a lace front cami shirt under a suit for this national trial. That's a decision." Which one? Ooh, I didn't see that. I'm gonna have to check when we go back on there. Titan D says, "I'm always down for someone who stands for ethics." Agreed. And he had the basis for his ethics too. Like, he's not just making this up and like, "Oh, you gotta believe me." Like, there's rules I gotta follow, or I'm gonna get kicked out of the law field, just like that's what he could have said. "I'm gonna get kicked out of being a lawyer, just like Alex Murdaugh for his lying self." Katsas says, "I felt like that's exactly what Harpootlian was trying to do, impugn Ronnie's integrity. I would lose my ish too." I don't think his reaction was that bad, honestly. And I think he had the opportunity to explain it away. MB says, "Dick always need to have the last word no matter what." Right. Like, is there a rifle in evidence? Okay. What are you trying, like, and what more does, what are we tying there? MB says, "The doctor will take forever. So should we be skipping the doctor? What do you guys think?" Julia says, "Ooh, dessert date with Alpha sounds like fun." Yes, we are going to get dessert to celebrate my settlement. So I don't have to go to trial next week. I don't have to do this and sit in my chair instead of walk around like they do. Let's see. Maureen Griffin says, "The cross on last witness was endless." Okay. Let's see. Pretty Mama Bear says, "The doctor takes a while too." Who has a short one? I don't want to be here all night, but I do want some good content here. So I want to know the doctor's information though, honestly. How long did the doctor testify? I keep seeing the lady with the thing on her mouth. What did the doctor testify about, guys? If you got it. Oh yeah, she's up there for a while. Okay. All right, we might have to skip her. Let's go to, Oh, let's go to the chief of, was he the chief of police or chief for the sheriff guy? Let's go to him. Okay. We'll go to him. Let's see, because doctor takes a while. I'll watch that on my own time. I won't drag y'all through that. Julia says, frankly, Ronnie Crosby is my favorite witness I've seen. He was so emotional when he initially testified, and I'm pretty sure he gave the eulogy at Paul's funeral. Yeah, I didn't watch his original testimony. Some of this stuff I'm gonna have to go back and watch because it does sound like it's been like some super interesting stuff. But I just didn't have the time to watch the whole thing. I wish I did. I really wish I did, but you know, having to work because YouTube does not pay my bills. Nursey Dogmon says Ronnie agreed to testify again, but he ain't mad. Right. Wait, you're saying, I don't know, but he ain't mad. I don't think he's mad. I think he felt a little attacked, but it's more of him not necessarily. I don't think his testimony could put Alex behind bars, you know? So he's not saying, oh, I saw Alex with a gun and he for sure shot them. He was even asked, do you think he did it? And he still didn't say yes. So I don't think, I think he's mad at the situation, sure, but I don't think he's mad enough to lie to the jury. Gramnet says, I love him. He was a great witness. Ronnie had time today. He sure did. He called him back. Deacon Fatal says, because I'm sleepy. Dickie Poo is a hilarious name. It just is, and don't at me about it. This is true. That is a funny name. Cass the Sass says, the retired chief of police that said he did not give permission to AM to install the blue light. That's what we want to see, because I did see some mention of him about the blue lights, and I do want to check him out and see what he had to say. Because, hey, I said, hey, if the sheriff told him he could do it, he's not wrong. But if the sheriff gets on here and say, I did not tell that fool that, then it will be up to the jury to see who would lie. And I think Alex has been proven to be the liar, and the sheriff might have more credibility than Alex at this point. Alex probably shouldn't have testified. Let's see what the sheriff had to say. Let's see. I can't keep up with the chat anymore, guys. Thank you for that. If you haven't already, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. And I say thank you for not allowing me to keep up with the chat, because that means we have a lot of participation going on in the chat, and we love participation on the stream. So welcome to any new people here. Welcome to all the new members. Welcome to the members. Welcome to the subscribers. Welcome to the people that are just lurking in the background. We are checking out this Alex Murdaugh trial, and we are going to the retired sheriff. Did he tell Alex to put blue lights in his car? Let me see. I'm hoping I didn't skip too far ahead. Let's see where we're at.
Thank you. That's all I have. Thank you, doctor.
Thanks,
Just
doctor.
2 questions.
Oh, it was only like an hour and a
500
half.
autopsies, you said, correct?
Yes, and since I was here last Navy, I've done another dozen, so over 5,500.
And you rely on practical observations of actually observing the body, is that correct?
That's correct.
I
do
don't
my
know
autopsy.
exactly. Okay.
I serve as
Oh gosh, I keep skipping around. Let's see. Why does it not show me where we're at?
You said you just retired, huh?
Let me go there.
I serve as sheriff of Hampton.
Okay, Brianna. I don't know which. Let's see. I'm trying to find a good spot. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go.
State your full name for the record. Spell your last name, please.
My name
Yeah,
is
that was a
Thomas
good part.
C. Smalls. Folks call me TC Smalls. SMALLS.
Sheriff Smalls, how you doing today?
I'm doing good.
All right. Tell the jury just a little bit about yourself, and I called you sheriff, so if you just kind of explain that to them a little bit.
Okay. In law enforcement for 39 years, 8 months. I retired in December.
Yes,
16 years of those 39 years was I served as sheriff of Hampton County. Been in Hampton County all my life. I'm a pastor. Pretty much married, 4 kids, 7 grandkids,
Thank you.
and just trying to enjoy some retirement. I retired December 31st day of December 2022. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to pull you back in. You said you just retired, huh?
Happily retired.
Do you know the defendant, Alec Murdaugh?
Yes, I do.
Have you known him for years?
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever have a conversation with Alec Murdaugh about him asking you permission or even telling you about installing blue lights in his private vehicle?
No, sir. I never had a conversation with Alec Murdaugh. Matter of fact, I never had a conversation with anyone in my 39 years about installing blue lights in a personal vehicle.
That's
Dead
not
end.
something that's done, is it, sir?
Oh, no, no.
Did you know anything about the defendant claiming that you permitted him to do so until
Oh
he testified to that last week?
I'm sorry. Alex is looking at him like I did not know they were going to call him up. He's looking like, wait a minute, where did y'all get him from? He for sure told me, watch, he's going to say, oh, I'm in a different sheriff. That is the same sheriff, if I'm not mistaken, that he said told him to put it. He just retired, so it would have had to be him, right? What is he, the head of the sheriffs? What is it called? I can't think of it right now. But yeah, he probably thought, oh, this man retired. There's no way he's gonna show up to the trial. But you're not about to get up here and say TC Smalls is telling you to put blue lights in his car, and then you lying on TC Smalls. You're not about to do that. Okay, let's see.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Didn't know anything about
Didn't know
it?
anything about it.
And he never approached you at any point about that?
No, sir.
Did he ever approach you about any threats or anything as a result of the boat case, the boat rat case?
No, we never have.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Cross-examination.
That's quick. Let's see what Poot got.
Well, 1201. Good afternoon, Sheriff Smalls.
How you doing?
My name's Jim Griffin.
Okay.
I'm a little hoarse. This pollen's getting to me, but it won't take long.
Why you got to say all that?
You've known Alec Murdaugh for many, many years. Is that correct?
Correct.
And he was a volunteer solicitor in Hampton County, 14th Circuit, for a number of years, correct?
I realized he worked along with his father
Not Poot.
Right.
as I don't know whether I thought he was assistant solicitor, but he worked along with his father.
He was
in
assistant.
Hampton County.
But he held the position of assistant solicitor of 14th Circuit,
Yes, he did.
and he worked with his father,
Right.
trying cases in Hampton County and perhaps Colleton County and other places. You aware of that?
Correct. Yes, sir.
And are you aware of him trying any cases when it wasn't with his father?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. And his father was, we're talking about Randolph Murdaugh,
Correct.
and he was previously solicitor. Is that correct?
Right.
And are you aware that Alec Murdaugh was issued a badge for that position?
No, I was not.
Why are you
Madison.
asking that? Just because he had a badge of
Question
what?
about permission whether you gave him permission to have a blue light installed in a vehicle, and you said you did not, correct?
Correct.
Do you know whether Anthony Russell gave him permission?
I can't answer that.
Now, who's Anthony
Who?
Russell?
Well, during my time when I was sheriff, Anthony Russell was a captain in my administration. He later became sheriff after I retired. He ran and he won the office of sheriff, and he holds office now.
Oh,
And
the
he
sheriff
was,
is the top.
Maybe not your right-hand man, but he was pretty high up in your
He
administration.
was captain.
Okay. And you-
Okay, so they're gonna try to say that the captain, like I said, Alex Murdaugh is gonna say, "Oh, I didn't mean that sheriff. I really meant this other sheriff." But in this case, I really meant this captain, not the sheriff, but the captain. No, you didn't say the captain. You said the sheriff. That's why they called the sheriff. So now they're gonna have to go call the captain. Like. This is stressful. This is stressful. I knew he was gonna say, "Oh, I'm not that sheriff. I'm in a different sheriff." Oh, goodbye.
Chauncey Solomon, what was his position?
Chauncey Solomon was a lieutenant.
And Perry Singleton,
Also
who's
not the
passed
sheriff.
away, what was his position?
He was a lieutenant.
And you know that Deputy Russell, Deputy Solomon, Deputy Singleton were very close to Alec Murdaugh? Were you aware of that?
Well, I know they knew him. I don't know how close to her.
Okay. And
Good answer.
did Eddie Gibson install the blue lights on the vehicles for the sheriff's department?
Not for my cause. Most of my vehicles light was done with a company out of Orangeburg, and then later we started working with a gentleman by the name of Charles Mitchell that installed
It's
lights.
gonna be
And
all
he
these
out of,
other
I think
people.
Hardeeville or Bluffton.
Oh my
You don't know
god.
who Eddie? You know who Eddie Gibson?
Oh, I
was?
know who Eddie Gibson. He worked for me at one time.
And when he worked for you, did he install blue lights? He worked on the vehicles, the fleet of vehicles.
No, not my vehicle.
Not
When he worked for you,
mine.
what did he do?
He was a deputy sheriff. He patrolled.
And so like you're unfamiliar that at any point in time, Mr. Murdaugh had a blue light in his vehicle.
I never had any knowledge that he had blue lights in his vehicle.
Oh, thank you. That's all the question I have.
Okay,
That did not help him. Look at this guy looking so confused. I can't believe Alex. I can't believe you. I vouched for him. I said if the sheriff told him he can do it, no problem. No problem. And now look at me. Look at me because Alex wants to get out here and lie on Mr. TC Smalls by saying the sheriff told him he can do it. And now all of a sudden it may have been. And then the thing is, he hasn't told us exactly who told you. What is his name? What is this lieutenant sheriff, whoever the heck you're talking about? What is his name? Who told you to put the lights in it? I'm going to have to go back and watch and see if I saw where he said they told him that he can put the blue lights. Did he name drop? Did he name drop? I don't think he name dropped. But can y'all hear Alpha? I don't think you can. Out there talking mess. But yes, did he name drop? I'm gonna have to go back and watch. I'm gonna have to go back to watch. But not only did he say, so you're not the one that told him that. Okay, that's fine. But did you know he knew this person who was the captain? Okay. Did you know he knew this person who was a lieutenant? Okay. Did you know he knew this person who was a lieutenant? Okay. So did they tell him he put the lights in there? I'm like, I don't know. He said the sheriff said it. Did he name drop? I'm gonna have to go back and watch if he name dropped, because why are we talking to TC Smalls if he's not the one that Alex is saying told him he can do the blue lights? Let me know what y'all think. I don't know. I'll see about the name dropping. Okay. Marianne said, yes, the sheriff is top dog and usually an elected official. Yeah, I'm not too versed in titles for the police department. So I learned something new today. So sheriff, he's the head. So he would have had to be the one. And I think I am recalling that he said the sheriff of that county told him he can do it. If he meant the captain or the lieutenant or whoever he said he meant, he should have said that. And the sheriff just got up here and said he's not the one that put the lights on it. And he's been working. Was he the sheriff for 39 years or was he just in the department for 39 years? I can't remember. I'll have to go back and check. Let me see. Julia 543 says, oh, chat, please tell me that they then brought the current sheriff. Please bring the current sheriff. But the thing is, they didn't pinpoint and say that the current sheriff is the one that said it. They named 3 different people that could have or that may have said it or not. Or maybe, who knows? Maybe Alex was just joking. It was like, hey, can I put blue lights in my car? And then the lieutenant or the captain was like, oh, yeah, that would be funny. And then Alex was like, see, I got permission. I don't even know. I'm just making stuff up at this point because what the heck? Like, what? That just quick testimony. I like it. Nice, short, sweet. But God dang, Alex. God dang, Murdaugh. Okay, Julia says, oh, wait, blame the guy who died. Right. You gave us 3 options, and I bet you 9 times out of 10, once we cross out those other 2 people, it's going to be the guy that we can't ask anymore. Like, what? And Danielle says, bruh, WTF. Right. The response is brilliant. Connie Cat says, haha, Jim tried again and missed. He got to sit down. His questions were not good. Did his supervisor, Poot is the supervising attorney, right? Why'd you let him get up there with those questions? But I guess if Poot did it, his questions wouldn't have been that good either. Let me shut up before I get kicked off of YouTube. If you guys have not already, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. You getting feisty Bree tonight, and I'm gonna cool it off with some cake or some ice cream or something, okay? Gramnet says he was like, nope, he didn't install our lights. Yeah, he's like, no, maybe he installed 1 or 2 lights, but he was a sheriff's deputy, not the light guy. He said a whole company in a different county is the one that did his lights, and then they worked with someone else. Like, not this guy, not that the sheriff knows of, unless he was doing it like under the table installing blue lights. And that would make sense because Alex hired him or had him do his lights. And it sounds like Alex likes to do things under the table, allegedly. Okay. Hello, Swanky. I've not had a chat from you in a minute, but maybe Alex Murdaugh was black people, has black people face blindness. I forgot the actual term for it, but maybe it really is different older black guy and he can't tell them apart. I don't know. They listed 3 other options of who it can be, and I'm pretty sure everybody in the top positions in the police department in that area cannot be black. They all cannot be black. That I don't think that's even a black area. So I'm leaning more towards no, and he's just a liar. That's my opinion about it. Julia 543 says, I love how possessive the retired sheriff is. Yeah, he was very straight to the point. No, I didn't tell that man that. Cass the Sad says, so if he lied on the stand about that, how can I trust him? He admitted that he lied to several things on the stand. So if he lied on the stand about that, that would just be one more thing that he lied about. That would just be one more thing that he lied about. He lied about everything. So the jury's not going to believe him. And if he gets convicted, it could very much well be that he is a liar and he said he didn't do it. He also said he didn't do some other stuff. So he must have done this too. And that's not a good way to be locked up. But in a circumstantial case, showing that the guy is a liar is probably a good idea. Cameron George Wedding says they need to find someone Alex told the truth to. We would be here all day. He hasn't told the truth to anybody. His own kid doesn't even know his birthday. Like, gosh. Sandra Breedlove says, I knew when he said it, he was lying. I said, well, if they told him he can do it, then he's not in the wrong. Look at me looking dumb. Like, come on, Alex. I was like, okay, I don't think, if he did it because they told him he can do it, fine. But now it's coming out that the sheriff, who he said told him he can do it, did not tell him he can do it. Tanya D is saying, I think it says Gremlin. Yes, my shirt does say Gremlin. That's where I went to undergrad. Elizabeth Carmichael says he did name drop. Okay, I'm going to have to go and see what name he said, because I don't think they would have pulled Tim if the name drop was that he actually used TC Smalls, or if he just said sheriff. Let's see. Sandra Breedlove says, yes, he did. Queen Ala says, yes, he name dropped. Okay, I'm going to have to go look. If he used TC Smalls, then he is definitely in the wrong, and his defense is wrong for trying to name 3 other people. So I'm going to have to go back and check. Z Seltzer says, smash the like. Yes, of course. If you have not already, hit the thumbs up button. That's the like button. It helps us out in the algorithm. Julia 543 says, we cannot hear Alpha. Okay, yeah, I don't even know what he was saying, but yeah. Where Debbie M says, I believe he did. Okay, I'm gonna go back and check. And what day was that though? It was when Alex was, he testified for a minute. Did I stream that on my channel or about the blue lights? I'm gonna have to see. I went on Natalie's channel and been on my channel. I don't remember where it was. I'm gonna find it though. M. Arnold says Alan Wilson, South Carolina Attorney General, was the prosecutor during Direct Today on Kenny Kinsey. He's a masterful attorney, a brilliant courtroom lawyer. Well, it sounds like somebody needs to get him in this courtroom. Sandra Breedlove says he bought the lights, put them in himself. Now that I believe, because when they said that he had blue lights, I thought about like in old movies where the detectives, they don't necessarily have police cars. They just have like this little blue light or blue and red light that they literally just stick on the dashboard. That's what I thought they were talking about. But they're talking about he actually installed lights in his car, like impersonating a police officer. It sounds like he should be charged with a lot more crimes. Well, if you said the sheriff, it's the sheriff, right? And I don't think he name dropped the sheriff's name, but I would have to double check. I would have to go back and double check, because he could honestly believe that someone else was the sheriff that was not the sheriff. He lied about everything else, and he just didn't clean that one up. M. Arnold says, well, this reminds me of freaking Amber Heard talking about that little that palette that she used to cover up her bruises, but the palette didn't even exist at the time that she alleged she used it. So, why are there so many trials with so many alleged with liars. Let's just say liars. Let's just call it what it is. With so many liars. M. Arnold says Wilson personally, in the case, is likewise the U.S. Attorney Generally personally prosecuting the federal case. Okay, let's see. I think he said Sheriff T.C. Smalls. Okay, if he said it, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go find it. It's gonna take a while, but I'm gonna find it. Mary Smith says, "Bree, the explanation makes more sense than him getting actual permission." Which explanation? Him doing it himself. Him doing it himself. Where Debbie M says Alex better not blame Bubba the dog. At this point, just say Bubba the dog, put it in there, and the chicken, and he died, so we can't ask the chicken any questions, right? Connie Cat says the worst part is the code 3 lights were in his law firm purchased truck, not even his personal vehicle. Yes, he did use the truck and said he only had it for 5 years and he only had the lights for 6 months. He was pushing his limits. He wanted to see how far he could go at this point. Okay. Marine, and he was already stealing money from the law firm. So why not make the law firm car a police car too? This is a joke. Marine Griffin says Alex gave the date he got the lights, named the sheriff and the installer. It was all lies and Alex got caught. Yeah, that's where we're at this point. That's where we're at this point. MB says we have 89 viewers and 89 likes, and I'm pretty sure some people have popped out. So if you have not hit the like button, go ahead and hit the like button. Julia543 says, you know what I got out of that cross? He didn't have permission to have that badge either. That's what it feels like at this point. That is what it feels like at this point. Deacon Fatal says, I mean, his name is Dick Poot. Elizabeth Carmichael says, I think I would have just not crossed Sheriff Smalls. No good came from crossing the sheriff. It did not. It did not. He might as well have sat down and made his client look like even more of a liar if he didn't already look like a liar from his own testimony. Julia says, hey, Bree, usually the sheriff and sheriff's office are the law enforcement for a county, while the police in chief and are law enforcement for a city, which can be in the county. I know that there's a difference. I am not familiar with either one of their ranks. So thank you for giving me that, Julia. Saying good luck. Okay. Deacon Fiddle says, yep, I am way behind in chat. So let me try to catch up to what the peeps are saying. Let's see. We have Word David saying Kmart blue light special at this point. Oh, from the chicken installed it. We're gonna go with that. Maybe some of the hogs helped him out too. They're destructive, right? They destroyed his law firm car and put blue lights in it against his will, right? Hello Swinky says, my chuckling was for your previous comment, him lying if his mouth is moving, not about being a gremlin. Oh, okay. MZ says, Alex Murdaugh has never got the moral of the boy who cried wolf story, LOL. Wait, the boy was never tried for heinous double murder. Liar equals killer. That's where he's headed. That is where he is headed, because it just looks like he lies so much. So if he lied about pretty much everything that came out in his testimony, I don't think we found one truth in his testimony yet. I can see how a jury can say he must be lying about this. I can see how they would come for it. We have Marine Griffin with a super chat saying you missed that the sheriff is also a pastor. Thank you so much for the super chat. And I did miss that he is also a pastor. And that makes a lot of sense because he sounds like some pastors that I know. Like some of his phrasing sound like pastor language. So welcome to pastor/sheriff, and he's gonna tell you the truth, and you are not about to lie on him. You are not about to lie on him. I'm glad that he testified. Okay. Queen Olive says, I watched every bit of the trial, and he obviously said T.C. Smalls. Okay, you said Sheriff T.C. Smalls. I just don't remember the exact name. So he didn't. My point of going to find the name was, did he say a different person's name? And you're saying that T.C. Smalls told you. So even if someone else said, oh yeah, go ahead and do it. The sheriff said so. That doesn't mean the sheriff said so. You did not speak to TC Smalls and he did not tell you. And when he said it, he did look like he was lying, but I was just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Amber said, because there's a lot of people out there who seem to think that if they stick to their story long enough, that eventually somehow magically it will be true. That is what it's feeling like. That is what it's feeling like. And I don't know if I can see it on StreamYard. Let's see. Do I have that one? But it is showing me that Tanya D has been a member for 8 months. Thank you so much for supporting the Bree Hive and being a member. And she says, shout out to the whole Bree Hive. We are awesome. Yes, we are awesome. Thank you guys so much for supporting and watching this live stream of me yelling at the computer screen. We have a good time here. I can't see it on because it is a highlighted chat. I think I cannot see it on StreamYard, so I can't pull it on the screen. But thank you, Tanya D, for being a member for 8 months and supporting my foolishness. Weird Debbie M says, I can't believe Buster doesn't know his dad's birthday. My mom passed away almost 46 years ago, and I still remember hers. And the thing about him not remembering his father's birthday, it's not like Alex Murdaugh is a quiet dude. They literally celebrated his birthday every year, and you did not know when his birthday was. And you're alleging that they're alleging that they are a close family. Why would you not know your dad's birthday? Not to shade anyone that's a close family that doesn't know their dad's birthday, but they literally, this guy comes off as he has a big ego, and he's gonna want people to know when his birthday is. So I cannot imagine him talking to his kids every day, and then on his birthday, his kids call and they don't tell him happy birthday. That just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know if you guys would agree. Julia 543 says, open the window and stick it on the roof. Yes, that is literally what I imagined was like that little blue light, and you just stick it on the dashboard, or you could put it on the roof, I guess. Griffin T says, I remember him dropping 2 names also. Okay, yeah, I might go back and watch it, but TC Smalls does sound familiar. Was it in reference to that particular thing, I think. Sandra Breedlove says, funny about the chicken. The chicken did it. I'm just going to say the chicken did it. Biobiographer says, this is such a tragic situation. Family devastated, friends and colleagues betrayed, can only hope for justice. I agree with you there. And we talked about this, I think, last week on this channel. It's like sometimes we forget, because the trial is such a mess and what was going on with all his financial, his cases, everything is such a mess. We sometimes forget that people have actually lost their lives when being connected to Alex Murdaugh and as a part of this trial in general. And so we do have to remember that. And so we're not laughing at the situation for sure, but we are laughing at the way that Alex is a liar and the way that this trial is going, and just giving our opinions. But yes, I definitely agree that it's a tragic situation. Tanya D says, I know Alex Murdaugh was on the stand last Thursday. Not sure if that was the day 1 or 2, though. Yeah, I know. I can't remember, and it's going to be so much to go through it, but I feel like I have to find it if he name dropped. Ashley Hempel says, it's like him saying he didn't know why he was flashing his badge. He didn't know where he got the lights from. He didn't know where he got the light. He literally lied his whole testimony. Like, he was coming off as sympathetic in some parts, and then he just was lying. He was just lying. Okay, Biobiography says we're at 96 likes now, and that was at 759. So thank you guys so much for getting those likes up. Let's see. Can we get to 100 likes on the live stream? I think that'll be like one of the first times while still being live. That would be awesome. Weird Debbie M says the chicken must have been acting foul and clucked up and killed someone. The chicken pulled the trigger. The chicken, let's see. The chicken pulled the trigger. The chicken put the blue lights in the car. The chicken gave Alex the badge. What else did the chicken do? What else did the chicken do at this point? The chicken took Maggie's cell phone. Like, man, the chicken is wild. Is there more than one chicken on the property? Anthony Ward says, I think he's guilty, but predict a hung jury. I would agree with you there. Prosecution is doing better with pointing out his lies, but I don't know if they've presented enough evidence to show that he did it still. Deacon Fatal says, what I remember, Sled did a horrible job. Yes, Sled did a horrible job. I don't think that's contested by anyone at this point. Alo says Alex Murdaugh testimony was so bad for the defense. I don't know if he makes it out. I think that's what that's supposed to say. He shouldn't have testified. I think he thinks he's a lawyer and he could have manipulated the jury, but he just came off as a liar. Alex, it's like, oh yeah, I lied then, but I'm not lying now. But I also lied about this still during the trial. Like, get out of here. Alex Temple says Emily D. Baker said they do get badges for that. She has one from being a ADA. I think he did get the badge legitimately. I do think he got the badge legitimately, but we're just making fun of him at this point because he lies about everything else. Let's see. You guys are laughing. Let's see. I always keep getting behind in chats now. I can't keep up. Okay, let's see. Hello Swanky says, little bit of shade. If you're mentally fit and close to a person, tiny bit of shade. Don't know what you mean by that. Danielle says his birthday party and video, the defense admitted like day 3 of the trial opened the door to a lot. His Alex's birthday and celebration was a big part of the trial. Yeah, but I think if you're that close to your family, I don't know. The way he said they talked every day, multiple times a day, and I wouldn't think you would call. I think my mom, I don't talk to my mom every day, and I think she would be mad if I didn't tell her happy birthday and I called her on her birthday. Gramnet says, how low do you have to be a paraplegic out of his coins? Wait, what are you referring to there? I must have missed that. Julia says we're at 102. Yay, we hit 100 likes on the live stream. That's good. That's really good. I think that's like one. I think we've done it before, but when we had like other people on the channel. So thank you guys so much. Deacon Fatal says, and that is why I did recommend the psychologist's opinion on this trial. Yes, we will have to go and check out what they're saying. Cardoba82, welcome to the live stream, saying quite late, but just wanted to say hi to Queen Bree and the Bree Hive. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Hopefully you catch some of the feistiness that we just had. Griffin T says it's over 100 now. Yes, we are. We got the likes up. Thank you guys so much. And for those of you who have not hit the like button already, go ahead and hit it. Let's get a little higher. Let's go ahead and get a little higher. Casta says, but then Bubba killed the chicken. That's why I said, was there only one chicken, or did they have multiple chickens? Because now we're blaming all the chickens. Danielle says, oh, I was typing as you wrote that, Tanya. I'm glad it didn't I didn't misremember. Julia 543 says we're at 102. You asked if we could get to 100. Congrats. Thank you. Yes, I am excited. This stream is doing well, and I appreciate everyone for coming in. Like I said, thank you for all the people that are new here, all the people that are, OGs, all the people that are semi-new. We're having a good time on the stream. I'm going to read a few more chats, and then I am going to take my butt to go get some dessert so then I can go to bed, and hopefully the sugar doesn't keep me up all night. Okay, let's see. Julia 543 says, I think they are trying to say Alex. Chat disappeared. Alex's birthday turned into a whole thing in this trial. Yeah, it did. But I think them pointing out that he didn't know his dad's birthday also showed that they may or may not have been as close as they are alleging they are. Griffin T says, no worries, my typo didn't help. I agree it's weird if you do celebrate their birthday, but don't remember. Oh, yeah. And the thing is, I could see why there could be some argument about his birthday, because I think it was like Memorial or Labor Day weekend, like on one of those holiday weekends. So you could potentially be confused. Okay, like what's your actual birthday? Because we always celebrate on this full weekend. But at some point at 26, you got to learn your dad's birthday. Yeah, at some point. But then that could just be, privilege, because I guess they didn't have to apply for student loans. I'm pretty sure you have to know your parents' birthday and their social. Well, you don't have to. I don't know my parents' social security number, but I think you have to use that stuff. So, I don't know. Birthdays are a little easier. Okay, let's see. Yeah, woohoo for the hundreds. Let's see. All right, let's see. All right. Marianne Williams says, I lost both my parents 20 plus years ago, and I still know both their birthdays. Yeah, I think when you're close and you're celebrating it constantly, that you know their birthdays. I probably knew my mom's birthday before I knew my own birthday. But it also, I guess it depends on your parents' personality. But freaking Alex Murdaugh's personality is like, it comes off to me as you better know my birthday. Tanya D says we are almost at 12K subs, road to 50K. Yes, road to 50K. Thank you, Tanya D. And also Cast the Stats. We're trying to get there. We are trying to get there, and hopefully it'll work out. And I have great supporters. So I think it's possible by the end of the year. Let's see. Marine Griffin says one of the clients he cheated was a quadriplegic. Oh, okay. Aside from stealing from him, he used his victim in a commercial for his firm. It was in the Daily Mail yesterday. Okay, I missed that. Yeah, I definitely missed that. Y'all could probably put anything in here about Alex Murdaugh, and I probably would not put it past him, other than that he told the truth. If you put that he told the truth, then I would not believe you. Danielle says, right, Blanca probably buys birthday presents for Alex from Buster. Yeah, where someone would get the presents for them so they don't actually have to do it. Amber said those boys never had to be responsible for even wiping their own arses. Pretty sure Gloria and Blanca reminded them of the important things. That is probably, I would believe that, yes. Weird Debbie M says, Bree, that makes sense about holiday birthdays. I was born on Thanksgiving. Yeah, so no one really pays attention to your actual day. They just know, oh, we're going to have a cake along with our turkey, right? I get what you're saying there. Marine Griffin says during Cross, CW called him a paraplegic, and Alex Murdaugh got snarky and said he's a quadriplegic. It wasn't good for AM. I missed that too. Let's see. Elizabeth Carmichael says my dad doesn't like a big deal made out of him. I know his birthday, my mom's, and all 4 of my siblings. That is like, I know my grandparents' birthdays too, and I don't even talk to them all the time. So, well, the grandparents that are involved, I know their birthdays. And I know my uncles and aunts' birthdays too. And I don't even know why I know their birthdays, but I do. So it would be ridiculous for me not to know my parents' birthday. I don't know. But I guess privilege, right? Privilege. Casta Stat says, I did not hear that he put them in a commercial. OMG, is there nothing that man wouldn't do at this point? If it's something good, at this point, he probably wouldn't do it. If it's something bad, he might be on the line. He might be liable for doing it. Sandra Bree Love says, wow, what a dirtbag. That is horrible. That is horrible. Okay, guys, talking to each other. All right. I think we're almost done here. All right. To saying same to Elizabeth. I didn't celebrate my dad's birthday, but I knew when it was. Yeah. See, you know exactly when it was. And I mean, maybe they're just of a place of privilege that we're not from. Alo says, I have a reminder on my phone for my dad's birthday. Talk about technology if you don't know it, right? For dad's birthday, because I'm so scatterbrained, but I know roughly what day. That makes sense. That does make sense. But them celebrating it all the time, I'm just not giving them the benefit of the doubt anymore now that they lied on my boy TC Smalls. No. Okay, guys, that is all we have for the live stream today. We will be back. We will be back on Thursday covering some other topics. We might do a brief little recap of what is going on in the trial then, because we are about to be at the end of the trial. They closed rebuttals. We're going to go into closing arguments, and then we're going to go into jury deliberation. So we probably will talk about it a little, but I will try to find some fun cases for Thursday. As always, if you see anything that you think would be interesting for the live stream, feel free to send it to me on Twitter DM or even Instagram DM. I don't really check Instagram DM that much, but yeah, just send it to me or put it in a comment. And I will see you guys on the next live stream. If you haven't already, go ahead and you made it this far, whether you like the stream or not, go ahead and hit the like button and also subscribe if you are not already subscribed. We will see you, I'm one person. I will see you on the next live stream on Thursday. I hope everyone has a good night.